We head out to the home of the Three Rivers to spectate what should be a high-flying matchup between the Toon Squad and the Jibby Johns. The Toon Squad needed this one to prove to the league that he's truly a contender and not a pretender sitting at 4-5. The wide receiver combination of Adams Lockett, which sounds like a Nicholas Sparks romance novel, left the Toon Squad feeling a lack of love. The league office has just received notification that the Jibby Johns is changing his name to the Jibby Cups, as he continues to ride the White Angel of Death to a 9-1 record. Sitting in first place, the Johns is yelling to the Leos, "Catch me if you can." Johns in an execution, 104-88.
Let's go to Hoboken, New Jersey, where two teams who really need a win face off. FSL versus the Teflon Don. I'm hoping Teflon gets in the playoffs for reasons I'll mention later in the show, Tej. But back to the game. FSL's core finally looked like what he'd been waiting 10 weeks for. Diggs finally got involved with the Bills offense and puts up 30, while Dalvin Cook looked like the bell cow SB drafted with 20 puntos. Teflon has some big names, but they all look like middle-of-the-pack guys. Stafford looked like Josh Rosen on Monday night and only got 11. The rest of the Dons team got into double-digit, but it wasn't enough to knock FSL's train off the tracks. FSL gets his one on the road, 134-107.
Bumble! Up to the frozen tundra of Percy, Pennsylvania we go, where the only thing colder than the weather is the Fat Cat. Big Daddy AE did his best Kyle Rittenhouse impression and marched into town, killed the Fat Cat, and left without any repercussions. The combination of his electric 49ers, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle had Andy counting his gold. He almost doubled the points of the Fat Cat, who stunk it up across the board. Zachy is now looking like he may be the odds-on favorite to eat the dreaded hot chip. The Fat Cat may be getting fatter, Boom. After the fight by the fire pit, Big Daddy is out for blood and looking to prove that he belongs in this league, and also looking to punch a ticket to the dance. Big Daddy by unanimous jury, 142-74.
Now let's venture back to the middle of that pack. These playoff implications are getting tough to follow. The 5-4 Ty Man takes on the 4-5 Clifford. Mahomes finally looked like his old self for Ty Man with 41, but it was about who couldn't score. Hawkinson put up 0, nilch, nada, in an ugly game in the Berg. Imagine paying to go to that game in the rain and seeing a tie. Man, thank God nobody from this league actually did that, Tej. Looking at Clifford's team, how could he do it? Renfro, Scott, Van Jefferson? All that's missing is Keanu Reeves, but somehow they scraped out some points for the Cool Cats and got the dub. Clifford 111, Ty Man 104. Rummin', bummin', stummin'.
Spread. We head down to the Charm City, where the only thing worse than the people are the pit beef sandwiches, and we find Luch coming into town to take on the Dubs. Oh, and the Dubs go marching on. Oh, and the Dubs go. But no! Luchinator pulls out a spectacular performance to shock the Dubs in the upset of the week. Led by Justin Thomas Jefferson and Michael Jimmy Carter, the Luch put on a presidential performance and sent the Dubs flying through the engines of Air Force One. Strong performances by Zeke Coffee Elliott wouldn't be enough to caffeinate the rest of the Dubs into a close one. Luch caught the team laying in bed. Luch in a statement win, 160-104. They're not gonna get him.
Now to the rock fight of the week, Toast versus Horton. Toast RBs put up some serious numbies, but the best RB in the league right now, Jonathan Taylor, went big again and was still outscored by AJ the fill-in Dillon. But Matty Ice, oh no, Matty Ice. Falcons get rocked by the Cowboys and he comes in below the Mendoza for Toast with negative 3.43 points. Now Horton, he did just enough. A few guys in double digits, Heineke over 20. That's all you need to be out a lame duck QB. Horton over Toon Squad, 91-88.
We head up to Manhattan, New York to see a herd of buffaloes rumbling through the Lincoln Tunnel into town to take on the hard hitters. The joke is actually on the hard hitters, as he didn't realize that Kemper drinks Manhattans like water, so this was actually a home game. This was an old-fashioned beatdown as the Buffaloes was happy to extend the losing streak to 3 games for the hard quitters. The Buffalo may have been lucky early on, but now the combination of Josh Allen and CMC is enough to strike fear into the hearts of this league. Meager performances across the board from the hard quitters was highlighted by a fake silver hoop from a Russell Gage earring. The Buffaloes go marching, and they leave Manhattan with a nasty hangover and a W. Buffaloes 143, Hiatus 102. Bumble! All right, welcome to week 11. It's the host and commissioner, SB, with my co-host, Jibby Johns. Jibby, how you doing this week?
What's up, SB? Doing well. Took a week off last week. Sorry to the crew for not doing a show. I will have to say, I kind of wish we did one last week, because I do what I said in the fastest 2 minutes about Teflon Don. I kind of have something I want to post. He sent a text to me about 10 minutes before the games on Sunday. I ended up beating him by, I think it was around 18 points. Kirk Cousins had 21, and I actually had Tua in the starting lineup. I've been feeling pretty guilty about it, and Teflon said he didn't want to lose that way, sent me a text. Great text saying, hey, Tua's not playing. It was a weird one because my Yahoo lap was saying Tua's just questionable. He wasn't out, and he wasn't out. He just didn't start because
he was active. He was active.
He actually took a few snaps. So I was at the Giants game, wasn't reading any articles. I was just checking the Yahoo app, and I saw questionable. I saw a Q. I was like, all right, he's going. And Teflon saved me I would still be, right now as it sits, I would still be number one, Rhodes, because I beat him on the point differential, but it gives me some breathing room. And moreover, Teflon, that could be a big thing for him getting into the playoffs. So thank you.
So that was 2 weeks ago, though. That was week 9.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Because I played Teflon last week, right?
Oh, really? Oh, it was all right. 2 weeks ago? Oh, yeah, I guess it was. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because we took a week off, so that's why this is still news. So Teflon, I tip my cap to you, sir. That's great sportsmanship, and I'm sure Jibbs will split his winnings if he wins the league because of that.
Split's a little liberal, but we'll sprinkle a little bit for the Teflon.
And I know what people are thinking. I know people are thinking out there. Oh, we missed a week. Steve's 4-6. He's losing interest. In my defense, my editor and co-host has been traveling a lot for work. And it's been, he hasn't been home, so he's not in front of his computer to tape and edit. So I don't want to pass the buck here, but I just want to say that it's not that I'm losing interest or butthurt that I'm 4-6. I was ready to tape. I sent him multiple texts.
He was ready.
This one's not on me, but we're back in the swing of things.
I'm done traveling for the year for the most part, so I think and who knows, maybe a in-person one for week 12.
Oh, that's right.
The same area, so maybe an in-person.
It'll be a little janky because we won't have our equipment,
right.
But it'll hopefully still be fun. All right, let's talk transactions.
Yep, not
We're
much.
filming this on Friday evening, so week kind of Tuesday transaction feels like forever ago, and there was really nothing interesting. Teflon Don added Baker, AE added Deonta Foreman. Which maybe he had a couple looks, 11 carries in week 10. I think the most interesting thing is I noticed AE also added Derrick Henry. AE is currently sitting at 5-5 on the outside looking in 8th position. This kind of reminds me of like the kid who goes to prom without a date that like buys a 12-pack of condoms before he goes. Like he's thinking, if I get to the championship, Derrick Henry might play week 17 or week 8 or week 17 or week 16. I think the cart's well in front of the horse here, but I guess you never know. You got to prepare for all outcomes. And if you're the fat, ugly kid at prom by himself, you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, it said, checking his Yahoo, they're saying he's going to be back week 15 against Pittsburgh. I'm not sure what they're saying there. So, that could be 3 weeks with him. Who knows?
Yeah. So we'll see. Nice. It could be a good ad. It may not end up mattering if he doesn't make the playoffs, but just further proof to JN that this is a guy that belongs in the league. He's thinking big picture.
Yeah, that's big. I think JN's been proved wrong. It's like the who was it, Max Kellerman or whatever, always saying that the Patriots are done. Like he came out with a hot take. Maybe he was just doing it for the ratings. And I think AE's been showing up. Maybe that gave him a little kick in the ass, and he's been showing up since then. So,
since then, it's been 2 teams in different directions. Nigro and the Hard Hitters are currently on a 3-game skid. after those allegations. So maybe a little poetic justice here as AE has passed the hard hitters in the standings now. And now the question is who should be relegated? Is it the hitters or is it Andy? I don't know. I think you got to ask the question.
That's true. We'll have a little court date for him at the end. Have them both.
Little kangaroo court. All right, let's get into matchups for week 11. We'll start with the 4-6 fantasy sports legend playing the 4-6 Toon Squad. Many people are saying these are the two best 4-6 teams in the league. Toon Squad was already favored over me. His team's really good. I am missing Higbee and Sutton on bye, which, that's not the biggest losses in the world. It's not like those guys have been fantastic. And then Toon Squad proceeds to start New England D, who just absolutely took apart Atlanta last night in probably the worst football game I think I've watched all season. I can't believe I stayed up for that whole thing to watch Josh Rosen come in and throw a pick six just to pour salt in my fucking wounds. So I'm now 36-point dog.
I will say just that to add something, it's been disgusting to see this Patriots love on Twitter all day. People are saying like, hey, everyone's been saying they're first place in the AFC East. Patriots win first place in the AFC East, which is they're not because they just have one more win than the Bills, but the Bills have had the bye week. So they're not first place. The Bills have looked good last week just because they lost to the Jags. Everyone's crowning Mac Jones's ass. It's been disgusting they beat Atlanta 25-0 with Josh Rosen. It's, and they're saying like they're back, Bills one and done, like all this stuff. I just have to get that off my chest.
Are you not worried a little bit? I'm a little worried.
I'm a little worried, but I will say I was less worried after seeing all the love because I'm like, all these people are always wrong. So the fact that they were giving the Patriots so much love made me happy because I'm like, they're counting the Bills out, which I like. Everyone was too high on the Bills, and now everyone's like, this team, the Bills stink. The Bills are falling off, and it's like, come on.
Yeah, maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah,
to be the underdogs to Bill Belichick and the evil empire again. And I do think like we play the Pats in 3 weeks at home Monday Night Football. I'm super excited we get to play them in Buffalo first. Mm-hmm. I think that if we come out and beat them, it'll take a lot of wind out of their sails. And then when we play them later in the year in New England, we've already like beat that. So I don't know. And this is kind of Bill's talk digression here. But I hear you. It's a lot of crowning. Mac Jones is the best quarterback to ever play the game. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. I still think the Bills are a much better team front to back. And we have a couple of weeks to wait until they get to play. We just got to keep taking care of our business, which it looks like Toon Squad's about to do to me, which is what a segue.
That is a great segue. Yeah, live projection. 139 is a high projection. Now we're doing on a Friday, so we have a little bit of a live projection. Obviously, Patriots D went off. And he's got. And
he's the key beneficiary of Eli Mitchell getting downgraded to doubtful. It looked like he was going to play. He jammed his finger and he had to have a quick surgery, but they made it sound like, we'll just rub some dirt in it and you'll be all right. And now it's looking like he's not going to play. And they play Jacksonville. So there's a chance Jeff Wilson he's probably like the guy to own in DFS this week would be, cheap Jeff Wilson. Yeah. And the rest of his team's really good. He has Brady versus the Giants, Devontae in the Dome at Minnesota, Lockett against Arizona, which could be a high scoring game if Kyler plays, Mixon versus Vegas. I don't know. I need to get really lucky to win this week. My matchups are fine. Hill versus Dallas is good. Russell versus Arizona is good. Diggs versus Indy is good. Dalvin versus Green Bay is not that good because Green Bay has been pretty stout defensively. I'm starting 2 Bills. I need a shootout. I need a miracle. I don't think I can pick myself this week, and it sucks. I'm coming off a 2-game win streak. I was starting to get some wind behind the sails. So you never know. I need a miracle, but I don't think I can pick myself objectively. I got to go with Toon here.
Yeah, I'd probably go Toon too. You just have too many question marks. Diggs looks like he's finally getting back involved. The Indianapolis, one of their weak spots is the secondary. But you do have 2 Buffalo wide receivers, so you have to imagine. Buffalo does spread it around, but you have to imagine if one of them eats, the other probably won't as much. Eli Mitchell, if you can't start him, it looks like you're going to be either Chuba, Lata, or Madison.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who you would really go with there. But
if Latavius plays, I'd start Latavius, I think.
Latavius.
Just hope he just stumbles in for a touchdown and gets me 12 points or something.
Right. Yeah, so I think with those question marks, I think I gotta go Toon Squad. His team's and getting 28 from your defense off the jump is that's tough to beat. I mean, you're expecting to get 10 from them, so that's a tough one. So I'm going Toon Squad.
All right, let's move on to Ty Man's All-Stars at 5-5 against the 8-2 Doves coming off a loss. Tyler off to a slow start this week. Started Youngwei Koo, who got goose egg last night. The Doves, he doesn't have a kicker in there right now, so he is the slight favorite. But the projections aren't really loving the Doves all that much here. I feel like he's normally closer to 140 on projections, so I assume he's got some tough matchups. And Ty Man still could just kind of hanging around. Keenan Allen's not had a very great year, although it seems like his targets are starting to ramp back up as Mike Williams, his early kind of, jump into the alpha receiver chair feels like it may have been a flash in the pan. So Allen's been a little bit better. Naheem Hines has been, one of the most consistent players in fantasy at running back all year. I don't know. Do you see a Dove slide here to 8-3?
Possibly. And Naheem Hines kind of sucked.
Naheem Hines, yeah. I was saying Najee Harris.
Yeah, Najee. Okay.
Sorry about that. Front door.
I thought it was like a pop-up.
Here, let me let the dog out. We'll have to cut this part. So maybe not.
We'll leave it in. Makes it seem a little more human.
All right.
Oh, it's a lemon.
Cool.
I'll choke her down.
The behind-the-scenes look at the MBMFL fantasy football show. Uncut and unedited.
Raw.
I said Najee Harris. Did you think I said Hines?
Yeah, I think you did say Hines.
Oh, sorry.
You said Hines, and I was like, and I looked, I was like, he's been to anything but.
Sorry, I meant Najee.
Yeah, Najee's he's been great. He's been worth that, whatever he paid for him. What was it, 65?
Yeah, he got a lot of shit for it. And he'd be in my top 6 running backs I'd want at this point, I think.
Yeah, for sure. He's been awesome. JN, man, he's been cold takes.
Very cold takes. I don't know. Higgins has been okay coming off a bye. Mahomes against Dallas, that should be a high-scoring game. That should be a really good matchup. I kind of like Ty Man to get it done here.
Yeah, like you said, with the whole Mike Williams thing, and then like how Keenan has actually he's been really good. Just looking at his last few games, 19, 22, 17. He's been back to what everyone thought he was going to be before Mike Williams took over. Corey Davis against Miami. Let's see. Even last week he had 13 against the Bills, which Bills' best secondary in football. So I like that. I like Ty Man's team. It's solid. T. Higgins has been pretty good. He's been talking about consistency. 13 in the last 3 games. So coming off a bye. I like Ty Man too. I'm not just saying that because I'm hoping for Ty Man to win, so the Doves can fall a little bit. But I like his team. I think his team's solid all around.
I think the Doves have slowed a little bit. DJ Moore has been trash since Darnold went through this huge regression that I don't think many people can explain what happened there. But he's been single digits the last 3 weeks. Rodgers back-to-back 14, then he had to sit, and 11. I don't know. I like Ty Man to get this done and send the Doves into a 2-game skid here.
Yeah, I agree. Eckler's been slowing down. He was looking like one of the best running backs in the league, and now he's kind of slowed down. Zeke has been – you really don't know what you're getting with him. So I think Ty Man does it. Goes to 6-5, sends the Doves down to 8-3.
All right, let's go on to your matchup. The 9-1 Jibby Jones coming in to play the Burnt Toast, and whoa, that is a big spread there. Oh, your Rams are on bye. Oh, no. That's not good. And Alvin Kamara is out. Oh, God, you are screwed, my friend.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one this week. So I have Denver on a bye, so I'm going to have to pick up a little late second defense. Kamara, I'm looking at free agents waivers. It looks like it's probably going to be a Boston Scott or something like that, something around there, where I can hope he gets 5 or 6 points. But it's going to be pretty ugly. And then we're looking at Dearness Johnson, who I'm just waiting and praying that Nick Chubb is still on the COVID list. I haven't heard anything about it, but the good thing, I think they activated another running back today or something like that. I was reading. So they're saying it may look pretty good that he's still on the COVID list, but you never know. But yeah, even if Dearness plays, I'm in trouble. And if Chubb is back, I'm in big time trouble.
You're going to get wrecked this week. Jonathan Taylor's the hottest running back in fantasy. A.J. Dillon, he had 27 points with Aaron Jones getting hurt last week, and Jones is out for a couple weeks. I think you're falling to 9-2, but you probably kind of knew that with Kamara, Kupp, and Henderson all out. It's a good week to take an L. Yeah,
this is kind of my bipocalypse. It's a good week to take the L. Pittman, hopefully, who knows, maybe I need to hope Toast has a stinker of a week and scores, 92, and I somehow sneak past him. But I'm not scoring anything higher than 100 and change. So I think I'm taking the L this week as well. It's going to be a tough one, but hopefully everyone can get nice and healthy and finish the season strong.
All right, let's go to the next matchup, Fat Cat versus the Clifford's Cool Cats. Fat Cat, pretty heavily favored here, coming off a 74-point game. Yahoo's saying he's going to score 123. Come on, Yahoo, wake up. Although I guess Chubb looks like he's back, which is bad news for you. He is activated from the reserve COVID-19 list this morning announced.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, Dearness Johnson is a zombie. Turned back into a pumpkin, unfortunately. Zachy's team is just impossible to figure out because, when some weeks he goes for 150 and then it's either 150 or 75 with him. There's no in between.
Right.
It's just a question, do you think Herbert is going to have a good week? Finally gets Chubb back and he's home against Detroit. Going up against Lamar Jackson at Chicago. Antonio Brown. I don't know what his deal is with this fake COVID card, if he's going to play. I don't know. This is going to be a rock fight, I think.
Yeah. Jackson, I guess the only thing is Khalil Mack just went down. So he's out for this. I think he's out for the season. So so that may help a little bit against the Chicago defense. They always seem to play tough. I don't know what it is, though. And then Slayton, where Tampa Bay's hasn't been a great secondary.
This is another rock fight. Jesus.
What's that?
This is another rock fight. Whoever scores more between Herbert and Jackson is going to win this game, in my opinion.
Yeah. You have Jackson. Hopefully Williams can do something. Man, he's really been bad. Mike Williams. I'm surprised. I thought he was going to have a few little where he kind of came back up, but he went,
Oh, Jesus. He's been horrible.
Yeah, he's been really bad. So I don't know what happened to him.
He's almost benchable at this point.
Ayuk looks to be a little bit more of a decent player. Obviously not living up to his hype preseason, but he's looked to be a little more involved in the offense. But Josh Jacobs. It's tough. It's just who's gonna. I'm
taking Fat Cat just because Nick Chubb against Detroit. That's the best player outside of the quarterback. Zachy has the next best player, so I'm going to take Fat Cat to beat Clifford, whose team just looks freaking horrible right now.
Yeah, I got to go Fat Cat too. Just having Herbert and Chubb, I like that. And other than that, no, it's not very fun, this one. But I'm going to go Fat Cat as well.
All right, let's go to the Teflon Don versus Big Daddy AE. Rutrow, Big Daddy AE took quite a gamble last night. Started 3 Patriots. They all went for about 8 points on average. So, yeah, not horrible, but not going to get you where you need to go against a pretty solid Teflon Don team.
Yeah. Teflon, unfortunately, didn't get much from Pitts last night. Pitts finally looked like, he had a few good weeks in there, but becoming a little more of the offense.
I mean, his last 4 weeks have been 3, 9, 10, 5. Like, people were saying this Kyle Pitts breakout. It's like, yeah, let's pump our brakes here. The Falcons are terrible.
Yeah.
And
Mayfield has been awful. At least he gets to go to Detroit. Or not go to Detroit.
CD should be in for a huge day with Amari Cooper out at Kansas City.
Yeah.
Godwin's actually been pretty good. 25, 28, 12. Connor's been good with Edmonds still out. Gosh, I don't know. I think I like Latif here. That, the Big Daddy starting the entire Patriots offense and not getting a single touchdown from any of them, that hurts. I'm going to take Latif here. You see an upset?
I want to find it, but I just can't. I don't know. I like Lamb too much. James Conner has been good. Godwin, I think, is going to put up a decent number, maybe even with AB, whatever's going to happen with him. Jarvis Landry, who knows what? I know he came out and started bitching about Baker. That could be ugly, though. I'm going to go with AE. I think Hurts and Samuel. I don't like what the Browns are doing there. I think they could even lay a clunker against Detroit. Maybe even Detroit gets their first win this week. I don't know, because the Browns, they're kind of in turmoil right now. The whole OBK thing. Now Landry's talk some shit, and then Mayfield's been awful. His last 3 weeks have been 2, 17, 8. Then he had 0 against Denver. He didn't play that game, but still. So yeah, I'm actually going to go with the upset here. I think Kittle against Jacksonville, that's a good matchup there. He seems to be involved in the offense and back. Deonta Foreman against Houston. I think he has some good matchups. So I think, again, another rock fight, but I think Big Daddy AE pulls it out.
All right, let's go to third place Luchinator against the fourth place Hard Hitters. Both teams are 6-4. It's a pretty good game. It's a big one with playoff implications.
Luch versus Buffaloes, right?
What did I say?
Hard Hitters.
Yeah, sorry. Luch versus Buffaloes, both at 6-4. Kipper has managed to survive and get McCaffrey back. And all of a sudden, his team looks pretty dangerous. Devonta Smith coming off back-to-back 22-point games. Adam Thielen's a threat to score every week. McCaffrey's a threat for 30-plus every week. He has Mark Ingram with Kamara out. Deontay Johnson's a lock for double digits every week. I think Kipper, he does this every year. He's looking dangerous to me.
Yeah. You have Deontay Johnson. Allen looks to be finally that offense kind of found something last week. And they have some tough opponents coming up, but and then if McCaffrey can get going, McCaffrey's just one of those guys where even last week it's just like, yeah, he was okay. He had some runs, he looked good, and he gets 26, and you're just like, this guy's just like, I don't know. He's the best running back I've ever, like, in terms of like when he doesn't score, he even gets 26. He's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
So yeah, he's a guy you do not want to play in the playoffs. That's for damn sure. Devonta looks awesome, or Devonta Smith looks awesome. I'm going Buffaloes here. I think he keeps rolling. I think he's a good team. All of his guys are rolling right now. I think he's going to be. It's going to be tough to stop.
I think I'm going to pick the upset here because I think Luch is red hot too, and I think him getting, David Montgomery back really helps his lineup. Michael Carter has been pretty good, and it seems like he's kind of the guy in New York for the Jets. If you have to own one, he's been actually solid.
He's been great.
James Robinson had a 20 spot last week. Justin Jefferson's been really good. Dak versus Kansas City should be a really good spot. I think this is going to be the game of the week.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pick against you here. I'm going to take Luchinator. I think he's red hot coming off that big win over the Dubs. And having Dak and Kelsey in that Sunday game against, game of the week, Kansas City, Dallas, I think will yield enough to put him over Kipper.
Yeah, like you said, game of the week. This is where we've been talking about some rock fights. This is going to be a fight to the death. You have Kelsey, who's obviously a stub, James Robinson getting back. Beasley's kind of the one question mark on Luch where you're just like, who knows? He could have 20 points or he could have 5 points. You just never know with how that offense is going to really use him. Montgomery coming back. Justin Jefferson he's a wide receiver 1. He's great. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a good game. I'm actually excited to watch the outcome of this game because it's going to be down to the wire.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's
anyone on Monday night for this team? Kipper has one guy, and he has Deontay Johnson Sunday night, so it could come down to that. So that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go to the final matchup of the week. Tony Horton against the Hard Hitters. Both teams struggling a little bit. Horton clearly whiffed last night, starting Mike Davis and Wayne Gallman. Whenever you're starting 2 Falcons running backs, you know you're truly fucked. If you're starting 1, you're just regular fucked. So that gives the Hard Hitters a huge leg up this week, with a total of 5 points at the running back position for Horton. But on the bright side of things, it looks like he finally will get Kyler back. It looks like Kyler's going to play. I don't know. I think Nagler gets off the schneid this week. What do you think? Any chance Hitters or Horton can overcome the Thursday night goose egg?
I mean, McLaurin's been pretty bad for him after starting off really good, really well. I think that was a big reason why Horton started off so hot. He's been kind of struggling there. Christian Kirk has been pretty solid. Let's see.
Waller's been okay.
It's just tough when you have 2 running backs get you 5 points total. That's just hard to overcome. JN's RBs have been pretty good.
And it looks like he gets Barkley back this week.
Who?
Saquon looks like he's on track to play.
Oh, wow. Okay. Saquon got to go way down against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's a tough run defense, but Saquon's good out of the backfield too. That might even be good if guys are getting to Daniel Jones. You can drop it off to Saquon. I don't see it. I know you're probably picking the Hitters, and I want to pick against you, but getting 5 from your running backs is I just don't think you can overcome that, especially when Hitters has some good RBs on the other side. Evans has been really good, really solid for Tampa Bay, especially we'll see what happens with AB.
Tannehill's a great matchup at home versus Houston.
Yeah, I just don't see it. Damian Harris has been good. I don't know. I think Hitters gets one back with getting to 5 and 6.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't pick Horton here, and Kyler. Even if Kyler's back, it's an ankle injury, and his biggest threat is his legs. So like, I doubt he's going to have the rushing upside that he did early on in the season. It'll probably take a little bit of time. So yeah, I'm with you. I think Horton drops this one. All right.
If you want to switch it up a little bit, I was thinking. I mean, we are halfway through the season, kind of. It's kind of about halfway. I guess we're a little past it. I don't know. All this. I hate how it's not like a.
I know. It's like you have to rewire your brains now.
I guess since it's kind of halfway since we missed last week, do we want to make some like predictions? Who we think we're gonna get into the playoff? I mean, I'm looking at it now. So you get 6 teams in the playoffs. So right now, Tony Horton's the 5-5 team in, but you have a lot of guys knocking at the door.
Yeah, you do. It's a big log jam in the middle.
I'm just looking at it right now. So I guess what do you think would get in? So you have 14 weeks. So probably
there's a chance 7-7 gets in. There's a chance because if you and the Doves keep winning, it'll just leave the middle in such a clusterfuck. And then if you have teams, the problem is like Teflon and Burnt Toast are way better than their 3-7 records. Like Teflon has 1,200 points, which is more than the Buffaloes, Horton, All-Stars, AE. And we saw in Burnt Toast matchup, like his team is really rounding into form. So you have all these teams at the bottom where the Fat Cat is truly the only like really bad team at the bottom that I think his team just stinks. And then you have like me and Toon Squad at 4 and 6 who have good players and can put up points. I don't know. I'm going to stick with Dubs as my pick to win the league. I think 7-7 could get you in a tie break, and there's going to be a handful of 7-7 teams.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Buffalo's like we were talking about. I think he's could overtake. I mean, I'm probably if anyone the Doves, just because I would have to lose like 3 games because he started out pretty slow without CMC. But I think Kipper definitely cements himself in that 3rd place. And then for 4, 5, and 6, it's just kind of it's anyone's game. I mean, if you win this week, it's like, all right, I just have to go 2-1, and I can get in there with if I have a few big weeks points wise. The only one that can really beat you would be Clifford or Toon Squad. Other than that, and Teflon if he rolls off some wins, but you kind of have the highest points in regards to any of the 4 and 6 teams.
Toon Squad has the highest at 4 and 6.
Yeah, Toon Squad. Yeah. So Toon Squad
to your point though, like you look at teams 5, 6, 7, 8. We just went through that matchup exercise. All these teams we like almost picked against. I think I took Tyler in one, but like Big Daddy AE, he had those 3 Patriots start. Horton's team is struggling. The Cool Cats is struggling with Derrick Henry out. Like, I think the weakest teams in the league are in that 5, 6, 7, 8 spot. And then you look at like Toon Squad, me, Teflon, and Teflon at 3 and 7, is getting close to being out of it. I don't know. I think those teams at 5, 6, 7, 8 are going to start dropping games, and you're going to get this ugly quagmire at the end, and it's going to come down to points. That's maybe a 7-7 limps in.
Yeah, I think so too. It's going to be a really interesting, and it's one of those where there's a lot of good teams out there. So, like for example, if you were Teflon's 3 and 7, if he gets in, if he's the 6th seed, you do not want to be that 2 seed playing him in the first round. Like, nor if it's you, like you don't want to be that 2 seed that's like all high on their horse. That's why
right.
I'm hoping to be number 1.
And Dalvin, and it's like, yeah, all right, I lose. Like, right. It could easily happen against some of these teams at the bottom. So it's going to be really interesting. I think like you and the Dubs look pretty much locked for the first round bye. I feel pretty confident that Lucinator and Buffaloes have a good enough teams to kind of hold serve and stay up there. But 5, 6, 7, 8, those teams, they're struggling right now. And there's a lot of weaknesses on those rosters. And me, Toon Squad, Teflon, even Nigro, if he gets Saquon back, could be formidable.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch the playoff hunt because there's a lot of good teams. Like you said, maybe I feel bad saying it, but maybe Fat Cat's the only kind of lame duck where it's just kind of like. But again, he puts up 170 hungry. Some weeks. You never know.
Hope you're hungry for a chip, and make sure you have lots of ice cream and some Tums on site.
So, no, I'm excited to watch the end of it, and I'm praying for a first round bye because I don't want to take on any of those teams that are going to fall in the 4, 5, and 6. I don't want any bit of them. So,
well, cool. Why don't we skip the lead pipe locks? I've been ice cold as a gambler anyway, so you don't want my pick.
I've not been gambling.
So let's call it there. Let's go enjoy our Friday night. Hope everyone has a fun Week 11. Let's stay healthy. Let's win some money. Go Bills. JB, thanks for joining me as always.
Go Johns. Go FSL. Should be a good week. Going to be an interesting week. I think the Johns might get their 2nd loss, but I don't know. Manifesting a win. I think something crazy could happen.
All right. Take care, boys.
All right.
Love
talk to you later.